All right, you YouTubers, how you guys doing? This is Praying Medic, and I am doing a test today of a multi-platform broadcast. So this is an experiment. I'm going to try broadcasting simultaneously on YouTube, Periscope, and Facebook. So I'm now live on YouTube. I will be going live on Facebook, and I got to figure out how to get the chat on YouTube. Let's see, where is the chat? There it is. All right. All right, we've got 9 people watching on YouTube, going live on Periscope now. And let's flip the camera. There we go. Hey Periscope, how's everyone doing out there? Oh, Alice. Hey, how you doing, Alice? I'm doing a test of a multi-platform broadcast. I'm simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube, Periscope, and now I'm going to go live on Facebook. So sit tight with me. I'm trying to work with 3 different networks to see if I can make this pull this off. How's everyone doing out there on Periscope land? Let's see. I hardly ever do Periscope broadcasts. Everybody else does, but I don't have much of a following on Periscope. Mostly Facebook. But I'm going to try to get more people involved in Periscope. So sit tight for a sec. Going live on Facebook. 3, 2, 1. All right. We've got 11 people watching on YouTube. We've got 26 on Periscope. I'm going to talk to you guys. I know a lot of people know about me on Periscope, mostly because probably of Adam Gingrich, John Wick of Politics. Does Facebook see your comments? No. So I'm getting separate comments on Facebook, on Periscope, and on YouTube. I've got 3 cameras going here. And unfortunately, oh hey, there's Mario on YouTube. How you doing, buddy? I got my first comment on YouTube. Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. Everyone uses a different platform, right? So Adam doesn't really talk much. Adam doesn't do anything on Periscope or Facebook. Adam is Twitter and Periscope. My problem is I don't have that luxury. I built my platform on Facebook, and that's just kind of how it is. I don't have much. It's I'm not going to say it's too late for me, but in 2009, 2010, when Facebook was just getting started, I got on Facebook. I recruited a large audience of people who were very interested in healing, and thousands. I developed friends and people all over the world who were interested in healing and dreams and prophetic ministry and things of that nature. That has been my my go-to audience has been people on Facebook. I have been on Twitter since 2009. I never had much of an audience, never had much of a following, not much was really happening. It's choppy, okay. Rebecca, thanks. I'm broadcasting simultaneously on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. I'm trying to broadcast on 3 networks. So the thing with Facebook was I just developed this massive following and lots of people on Facebook. And then a lot of people started leaving Facebook when Twitter became more popular, especially with young people, when their parents followed them on Facebook and started stalking them. A lot of people left Facebook. They went to Twitter, they went to Snapchat, they went to Instagram, they went to other platforms. So there's a lot of people that have left Facebook and they've gone to other platforms. I've stayed on Facebook. I mean, I had a lot of problems on Facebook. I got kicked off at one point because of my name. They didn't like Praying Medic. They wanted me to change my name. This is a year and a half ago when they had this big fiasco about names, and they closed my account. I had to start all over again and build everything up. And for 7 months I was off Facebook. I didn't go on at all. And hey, Essie from the UK. I've got people watching from Mexico and the UK on YouTube, so that's cool. All right, so Rebecca and Kathy, you all are having problems on Facebook understanding what I'm saying. It's too choppy and it's not working. That's a problem. That's good to know. Okay, yeah, Amy, go over to Periscope or YouTube and let me know. Periscope seems to be working okay. The YouTube seems to be okay too. Not working. Okay. Hey Shannon, how's it going? Can you pray? Yes, you can pray. Of course you can pray. So the deal is with Periscope, I've only done a few videos on Periscope. I've done most of my live videos on Facebook. I did a test live video on YouTube the other day. It worked out great. 20 people showed up and we had some chats back and forth. Hey Chris from Philly, how you doing, man? So there's a few more people showing up on YouTube now. I've got about 16 people on Facebook, and I'm running that off my laptop. I'm running the Periscope off my mobile phone, and YouTube is off a separate camera, webcam. It may be, yeah, you know what? I'm thinking with Facebook being choppy and you guys having a hard time hearing what I'm saying, it might be because I'm broadcasting 2 streams off of my computer. I'm broadcasting live on YouTube and on Facebook, and that may be interrupting the flow of the video. So that's something to be considered. Maybe I need to steal Denise's phone and use her phone to broadcast, to do the 3rd broadcast. I could probably do YouTube on my computer, Facebook on her phone, and Periscope on my phone, or vice versa. Holy cats, I got 40 people on Periscope already. What the heck? I've never had 40 people on a Periscope before, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to multitask like crazy. Yeah, William, I've got a good Wi-Fi, but I also have the laptop plugged into a LAN cable right into my router. Goes directly in, so I'm trying to get the best stream that I can. Yeah, if you have 2 phones, it's easy to do 2 mobile phones, 2 broadcasts. I would have to commandeer Denise's phone and log in on my account on her phone. She's got a nice iPhone. I'm sure that would probably, if I was going to do this on a regular basis, do 3 live streams, using 2 mobile phones and a computer would probably be the best way to do it. Hey, you guys want to hear an interesting dream that I had? Not last night, but yesterday afternoon when I took a nap. No. What is today? Wednesday? It was Monday. It was Monday. Monday I had an interesting dream about President Trump. We got Atlanta, Texas, lots of people checking in on YouTube. How is the stream on YouTube? Guys, you guys that are listening on YouTube, tell me how the live stream, the audio, how is that working? Is it choppy or is it fine? So the dream that I had on Monday about President Trump was very interesting. I took a nap in the afternoon, and I have a lot of dreams in the afternoon, but I very seldom do I remember them. And they're usually very interesting dreams, but as soon as I wake up, I can't remember the dream. Hey, Kevin, how is the audio and the video on Facebook? Is it still choppy? And you guys on YouTube are saying it's okay? All right, that's good. I'm broadcasting using that OBS broadcaster software on YouTube, which seems to work pretty good. I have to come up with a solution for doing Facebook and Periscope simultaneously. So it's still choppy on Facebook? Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm going to mostly be talking to the folks on Periscope and YouTube who can hear me. I'm talking to you on Facebook too, but it sounds like the broadcast isn't working all that well. So the dream I had about President Trump, I went to sleep, took a short nap, and in the dream, the president had developed a very sophisticated and elegant either program or network that was going to deal with the illegal drug trade. Okay? And that was the dream. The essence of the dream was that he was going to, yeah, I know Lance does dual Periscope and Facebook. He uses 2 phones. That's the best way to do it. I'm just trying to figure out ways. I recently figured out you can install the Facebook app if you have Windows 10 and do broadcast off of Facebook on your computer. So I'm trying that. So in the dream, President Trump created a network or a program that was going to deal with the illegal drug trade. Now, I was asking Adam last night on his Periscope, is there something with the DEA, with the Drug Enforcement Agency, that needs to be fixed or is not working well? I know that this is well documented. You can just search for it. We know that the CIA is heavily involved in illegal drug trade. It is what it is. The CIA has one of the operations that they do. They do these illegal drug trade to get money to fund the things that they want to do that they can't get money from Congress for. So for years, the CIA has basically been running an illegal drug trade that involves the poppy fields in Afghanistan and Pakistan and that part of the Middle East. That part of Asia is very, very good ground for growing poppies and converting that into heroin and morphine. So the CIA has been running this illegal drug trade operation out of that part of Asia for years. And with all of this information that's coming out with the House and the Senate Intelligence Committees, I'm beginning to wonder if the president isn't going to have to come up with some way to deal with the drug trade, the illegal and undercover drug trade of the intelligence communities, like the CIA. I think that's something that we're going to see in the next few months as Devin Nunes and as the House Intelligence Committee and as these organizations, as Congress starts to look at not just the illegal surveillance, because that's been going on, not just the illegal surveillance used by the intelligence communities, but also other illegal activities that they're involved in. Because if you have been following George Webb on his Where is Eric Braverman YouTube series, George has been talking a lot about illegal drug trade, about child trafficking, illegal setting up of manufacturing operations that take advantage of women in places like Haiti and Africa, puts them into essentially slave labor. And there's been it looks like there may be even trafficking in human body parts, where they take prisoners and they harvest organs out of them and implant the organs in wealthy people. There's some crazy stuff going on. Some crazy stuff. The things that you will learn if you follow George Webb will make you sick for a while. For a while, they'll make you sick. Yeah. Hey guys on Facebook, I'm running this off of the mobile app on my computer, and I'm also simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube, and it's creating problems with the audio on Facebook. So this is an experiment. I'm trying to figure out how to do this the best way. Oh, you have no choppiness? Hang on, who is that? So, William Waring, you're not having any choppiness on your Facebook feed right now? That's good to know. But it's not the perfect solution. So what I think the president is going to have to deal with in the coming year or two is, when Jeff Sessions in the Department of Justice gets his deputy attorney general, and he gets his own staff who are not leftovers that have been there forever. When the Department of Justice has been cleaned out, and a lot of the cronies that have been there for a long time, they're aware of this stuff, but they're not prosecuting any of that. When those people are gone, and Sessions is able to get new blood in the Department of Justice, we are going to be replacing a lot of federal judges all over the country. There are about 100 positions open at federal courts where we need new judges. When all of that comes down, then Sessions can start to prosecute all of these things, the pedophile rings, the illegal drug trafficking, the organ harvesting, all of this stuff that's been going on for a long time, for years. Sessions will be able to finally start prosecuting. Some of that has to go to congressional committees. House and Senate intelligence committees, they have to convene hearings, and they have to get testimony from people in government or former government employees to find out what needs to be done, to find out who's implicated, who's guilty, who do we prosecute. So we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to be patient with the process. It's going to take a while. Let me catch the YouTube comments here real quick. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are having trouble following George Webb because of the way that he presents his information. George Webb is a very good reporter. He is not the best teacher. One of my friends said a long time ago, she said, George Webb doesn't have your teaching gift, but he has a lot of good information. So what I've been trying to do is, and I'm going to do more of this in the future, just to let you know, I follow all of George Webb's daily broadcasts. I download all of his YouTube videos. I listen to all of them. He does get repetitive sometimes. He's been on this thing with the Iwan brothers now for, gosh, a week or two. And a lot of the information he puts into his 10 or 11 minute video is 9 minutes of what he said yesterday and 1 minute of something new. And you have to have a certain kind of mind, I guess, to understand where he's going with all this information. I've been following it from the beginning. I've listened to all of his YouTube videos, the entire series. It's possible I may be writing a book on some of the things that George Webb has covered over the last, what has he been doing these videos now for 145 days, whatever it is. Um, I I have been following George Webb, and I have been doing some parallel investigations, particularly with Clinton Foundation, human trafficking, pedophile rings, that sort of thing. I've been investigating that the whole time, gathering tons and tons and tons of information. Here's the thing, and people are asking me, why aren't you talking? Why aren't you doing anything with this? The Lord told me, the Lord gave me a dream about 3 months ago, and in the dream, the dream was about lawsuits. There was a lawsuit in the dream, and the damages that were being asked for in this dream were about $10,000. Now, in the terms of lawsuits for libel and slander and defamation of character, that's not a lot of money. But it was a warning dream that the Lord was telling me, if you get ahead of this story, if you start to talk about it publicly, if you start to put out videos and discuss things about people who have not been charged and not been indicted, you're going to get in trouble. You risk the possibility of a lawsuit for libel, slander, defamation of character. Now, if you guys have been following this, Mike Cernovich has already gotten into legal trouble. David Seaman has gotten into legal trouble. Alex Jones had to apologize, make a formal apology about his statements that he made about Comet Pizza and James Alefantis. Okay, these people, the people that are involved in all of this activity are powerful, wealthy people. You cannot go and start talking about them publicly and accusing them of crimes without some backlash, without some pushback. They have attorneys. They have a lot of money. And you're going to end up going to court if you get ahead of the law enforcement. What I feel like the Lord has been asking us to do with all of this information is do some citizen journalism, do some investigation, find out what's going on, become aware of it, talk about it among our circles of friends, bring the information out. But it is not our job to prosecute. We're not prosecutors. We're not judges. We're not police. We don't have the authority to arrest people. And even as journalists, what we can say and do from a legal perspective is fairly limited without getting in legal trouble. So what I've been doing is making lots of notes. I'm taking notes. I'm praying. The Lord is giving me dreams. I'm talking to you, my friends, a little bit about it, not a lot. Just to let you know that I'm on top of it and I'm aware of it. What our social media conversations do is they keep these issues in the forefront, in the minds of the media, because the mainstream media has been trying to push back against a lot of this. We just had it was fake news, right? So the 60 Minutes episode with Mike Cernovich. 60 Minutes wants to go and tell the whole world, hey, there's all these fake stories, fake news. You know, the Pizzagate thing is fake news. They're pushing back against these crimes. They want to try to convince the world that there's nothing to this. This is all fake news. What we need to do as average people on social media is to be responsible, be adult, but to keep the narrative moving, to keep things moving forward, to keep a little pressure on the Justice Department, to keep some pressure on the FBI, to keep pressure on Congress, to continue to investigate, to continue to expose. Devin Nunes, great job this week, basically asked whistleblowers to come forward. If you know something, if you have information, come forward. I want your information. So that is what. Oh, hey, Bill, you're over on YouTube, buddy. Yeah, there were citizens arrests at one time, but I think we need to be patient. I think we need to just hang in there and keep praying. right? So we've all been praying for darkness to be exposed, right? That's what I've been telling you guys now for a long time. Darkness needs to be exposed, okay? And darkness is being exposed big time, big league, right? Big league, like little league, big league, big league. All right. Darkness is being exposed. We need to continue praying, continue researching. If you have a phone or a computer and you want to do live video, you want to become a citizen journalist, there is plenty of room. There's plenty of room out there in the world for more citizen journalists, for people who are willing to do some research, connect the pieces, put it all together, explain to their friends what is going on. Listening to Adam Gingrich's scope last night, and it sounds like he's looking to buy some audio and some video equipment and some lighting so he can start doing broadcasts, like actual broadcasts. I'm excited about what God is doing to bring new people into this new media that he's doing, because the old school fake news media, the mainstream media, it's going away. It is going away. I'm telling you, in a few years, it's not going to be around. A lot of these networks are going to be bankrupt. They're losing their money. Look, here's something to think about. Twitter stock. Twitter stock has been on a gradual decline for the last, ever since it went public, their IPO. The Twitter stock has been on a very, very bad downslope. Okay. Twitter stock, I think right now is around $12 a share. There are a lot of rumors in the industry that if Twitter stock gets to $10 per share, it'll get taken over. It'll get purchased, bought out by another company. It'll be taken over. Now imagine, one of the problems that a lot of us on Periscope are having is our programs are getting throttled. We're getting banned. Conservatives are getting kicked off of Twitter. They have these algorithms that, they don't show your positive comments. All they show is negative comments. Twitter has been messing with the algorithms, trying to suppress conservatives. And on Periscope, Twitter owns Periscope. They've been doing a lot of monkeying around with the algorithms to try to silence conservatives on Periscope. Well, imagine what would happen if somebody bought out Twitter and then took over Periscope, who didn't have the same agenda, who had a different perspective, different philosophical worldview. It's possible. It's possible. But the thing I want to help you guys understand is Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, they understand the future is live video. They understand that. We have to start to understand that ourselves. We are given a chance to mess around with, to experiment with doing live video broadcast on Periscope, on Facebook Live, on all these other platforms. We're being given a chance to experiment with live video. What the Lord wants us to do is to develop our own platform. And that is something that people are working on. I would love to be able to do my own live broadcast on my own network, on my website, where I have control of it, where don't have to worry about YouTube taking down my video, or Facebook messing with the algorithm, or Twitter, banning me so that people aren't getting notifications. People who are doing live video now are experimenting and learning with the technology. We're growing, but the goal is eventually to have our own networks. It's to have our own platform where people cannot mess with us. And that is what the new citizen journalism, a large part of the new citizen journalism, is going to be predicated on, built on people who are able to develop their own networks and not be beholden to somebody else who has an agenda that's going to mess with us. Yeah. As far as the Facebook video goes, I, yeah, you might have. I don't know if you missed this, but this is just an experiment. The Facebook thing is not working that well on this. This is the first time I've tried to do Facebook on this. You know what I might do? Well, what I'll do at the end is I'll shut down the YouTube and I will just do Facebook and see how that works. Okay. So keep scoping. J tweet. I'm going to. I have been really slack about using Periscope. I I apologize. If you know my history, and it helps if you don't. I have avoided video for years. All my friends were doing video. They're all doing YouTube. They're all doing, you know, got a Periscope. I have avoided doing any video at all for years. Wouldn't even put any pictures on the internet of myself. I just didn't want to do that. I was communicating to people through writing, through my blogs and books. but in the last year, the Lord has been speaking to me about video, and as I have stepped out into out of the boat onto the water, He has spoken to me more about video, not just recording videos and uploading them, but now doing live video. So I've been doing these live videos on Facebook mostly for the last 6 months. I was terrified when I started doing it. I enjoy it a lot more now. And now that I'm enjoying doing live video more, I'll be doing it more on YouTube. I'll be doing it more on Periscope. And when my classes are available, which is going to be soon, I recorded another video for the classes yesterday. When the classes become available, the classes on healing, hearing God's voice, emotional healing, all that stuff, when those classes become available, I'll be doing live videos just with the students that are in the classes. This whole thing of live video is becoming a much bigger deal. So today, this is an experiment. I'm trying to figure out how can I make the most of my time? How can I reach the greatest number of people with one broadcast so that I don't have to do, the same broadcast over and over and over again? This is an experiment. I'm working on it. All right, what I'm going to do is, can Switcher Pro integrate multiple Periscope? Yeah, there are ways to do multiple feeds on Periscope. Adam Gingrich and Base Chica and Nick DeCenzo and Dan, the four of them are doing a 4D Periscope right now. She's using OBS software and some other things to stream in 3 video feeds and put them into Periscope, and they do a Periscope with 4 different people live. I think Bill Mitchell is doing the same thing with his Your Voice Radio. I'm going to start to experiment with multiple feeds. I would like to be able to host like a podcast with one of my friends and do it on Periscope, do it on YouTube, do it on Facebook. I'd like to, it's great listening to one person, but if you get a dynamic speaker, it's really great to listen to 2 people, chat back and forth and share ideas. Glory to God. Well, I love you guys on YouTube. Thank you for jumping on the broadcast. It looks like we've got the YouTube stuff figured out, and Periscope is not much of a problem. Have you guys been bumped off at all on Periscope? Has there been connection issues, or has everything been okay so far? That would be good to know. One of the problems that I don't like about Periscope is people keep getting kicked off the broadcast. Once you get up to 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 viewers, people get kicked off and they can't connect, and it's a hassle. One lost connection. Okay. So Periscope's been pretty good. YouTube sounds like it's been solid. Facebook has not been working very well. I've got 8 people following me on Facebook. Normally by now I would have 100 people following me on Facebook uh, on the video, and I've got 8. And everyone's saying that they can't hear the audio. So, all right, that's good to know. I'm going to end, hey guys, I'm going to end the YouTube broadcast, and I'm going to try to do just Facebook and see what happens.